Hadzabe people reside near Lake Eyasi in northern Tanzania, a region known as one of the most significant prehistoric sites in the world. It is not far from the famous Oldaway Gorge, where some of the earliest human fossils have been discovered, dating back over 1.8 million years. This area is often referred to as the cradle of mankind, where early human ancestors such as Homo habilis and Homo erectus once roamed. While the Hadzabe do not have written records of their ancestry, genetic studies suggest that their lineage is among the most ancient of all human populations. Unlike other African tribes, they do not share close genetic ties with the neighboring Bantu or Nilotic peoples. Instead, their DNA suggests that they are one of the oldest distinct human populations, possibly dating back tens of thousands of years to the early days of modern humans, Homo sapiens. Hunter-gatherer life, echoes of prehistory. The Hadzabe lifestyle mirrors that of the first prehistoric humans. Unlike most societies that transitioned to farming and livestock herding thousands of years ago, the Hadzabe have remained true to their ancient ways. They rely entirely on hunting, gathering, and their deep knowledge of the natural world for survival. Hunting, the ancient art of survival. For thousands of years, Hadzabe men have been expert hunters, using bows and poison-tipped arrows to take down game. They track animals by reading the land, studying footprints, broken branches, and even listening to the sounds of birds that warn of approaching prey. This ability to read nature is not learned through books but passed down from generation to generation through direct experience. Their hunting methods have barely changed since the Stone Age. The Hadzabe make their bows from local trees and craft arrows tipped with a deadly poison extracted from the adenium plant. This poison ensures that even a small wound will eventually bring down large animals such as antelope, warthogs, and even baboons. They hunt with precision, relying on their knowledge of the terrain and the habits of animals rather than brute force. The Hadzabe also have a unique symbiotic relationship with the honey-guide bird, an ancient connection that may date back to early humans. The bird leads them to beehives, and in return, the Hadzabe break open the hive and share the honey with their avian guide, a rare example of cooperation between humans and wild animals that has existed for thousands of years. Gathering, the lifeblood of survival. While men hunt, Hadzabe women play a crucial role in gathering food, a practice that has remained largely unchanged since prehistoric times. They collect tubers, berries, fruits, and edible roots, ensuring that the tribe has food even when hunting is scarce. The baobab tree, often called the tree of life, provides nutritious fruits, while other plants offer vital medicine and sustenance. Their knowledge of plants is incredibly detailed. They can identify which roots are safe to eat, which berries are poisonous, and which leaves can be used to treat illnesses. This deep understanding of the land is a skill that was once universal among early humans but has largely been lost in modern society. Culture, language, and spirituality, a prehistoric perspective. The Hadzabe's language, known as Hadza, is one of the last surviving click languages in the world. This unique linguistic trait connects them to some of the most ancient human languages spoken by other indigenous African groups, such as the San people of the Kalahari Desert. Their language is purely oral, there is no written script, much like early human societies that relied entirely on spoken communication. Unlike many tribes that have centralized leadership, the Hadzabe have no formal chiefs, kings, or rulers. They live in small, egalitarian bands where decisions are made collectively. This form of social structure closely resembles how early humans lived before the development of agriculture and hierarchical societies. Their spiritual beliefs are deeply tied to nature, much like those of prehistoric humans who revere the natural world. They believe in a spiritual force that resides in the land, the animals, and the elements. The Hadzabe do not build temples or shrines but instead practice their spiritual beliefs through storytelling, song, and a profound respect for the earth. Challenges in the modern world, a struggle for survival. Despite their ancient way of life, the Hadzabe face significant threats from the modern world. Encroaching development, land seizures, and climate change have made it increasingly difficult for them to sustain their traditional lifestyle. Their land, once vast and untouched, has been reduced as agriculture, cattle grazing, and tourism expand into their territory. Governments and conservation groups have struggled with how to integrate the Hadzabe into the modern world while preserving their way of life. Some efforts aim to protect their land and support their hunting-gathering traditions, while others push for assimilation into mainstream society. Many Hadzabe resist these changes, fearing the loss of their identity and the wisdom that has allowed them to survive for millennia. The Hadzabe, a living connection to our ancestors. The Hadzabe are more than just a tribe, they are a living testament to the resilience of the first humans. Their way of life offers a rare glimpse into our prehistoric past, revealing how early Homo sapiens survived in the wild before the rise of cities, agriculture, and modern civilization. In a rapidly changing world, the Hadzabe remind us of an ancient truth, that humans are not separate from nature but a part of it. Their wisdom, passed down through thousands of years, holds lessons that modern society is only beginning to rediscover: how to live sustainably, how to respect the earth, and how to listen to the unspoken language of the land. If the Hadzabe disappear, we do not just lose a tribe, we lose a connection to our own past, to the very roots of humanity itself. Their story is not just theirs, it is the story of all of us, a reminder of where we came from and the wisdom we must not forget. The first prehistoric humans, the Hadzabe Bush tribe, a living legacy of our earliest ancestors. In the heart of East Africa, nestled between the rugged terrain of the Great Rift Valley and the shimmering waters of Lake Eyasi, the Hadzabe people continue to live as their ancestors did thousands of years ago. They are among the last true hunter-gatherers on Earth, a people whose way of life has remained largely unchanged since the dawn of humanity. Their existence offers a rare window into the past, allowing us to glimpse the lives of early humans, how they hunted, gathered, spoke, and thrived in the vast wilderness long before agriculture, civilization, and technology transformed human society. To understand the Hadzabe is to take a journey back to the very roots of human evolution. Their traditions, language, and survival skills mirror those of the first Homo sapiens who walked the African savanna. By studying their way of life, anthropologists, geneticists, and historians have uncovered crucial insights into the origins of mankind and the wisdom of prehistoric survival. The Hadzabe's ancient ancestry, a direct link to early humans. The Hadzabe people's homeland is situated near some of the most significant archaeological sites in the world. The nearby Oldaway Gorge, often called the cradle of mankind, has yielded fossils and tools from some of the earliest known human ancestors, dating back over 1.8 million years. This region is believed to be where Homo habilis, one of the earliest members of the human genus, first mastered toolmaking and survival techniques that would later shape all of human history. Genetic studies have shown that the Hadzabe are one of the oldest genetically distinct human populations. Their DNA suggests that they have lived in East Africa for tens of thousands of years, surviving through the Ice Age, drastic climate shifts, and the rise and fall of civilizations around them. Unlike the Bantu, Nilotic, or Cushitic tribes that migrated across Africa over the past few thousand years, the Hadzabe have remained largely isolated, preserving an ancient genetic lineage that connects them to some of the first modern humans. Unlike many other African ethnic groups, the Hadzabe's language and culture bear no resemblance to neighboring tribes. Their unique click language, Hadza, is similar in structure to the San people's language in southern Africa, suggesting a deep ancestral link that predates even the formation of modern nations and ethnic identities. This linguistic connection indicates that the Hadzabe and their ancestors may have once been part of a much larger population of hunter-gatherers who roamed across Africa before the rise of agriculture led to the spread of settled societies. How the Hadzabe live today, echoes of the Stone Age. While the modern world has drastically changed the way most humans live, the Hadzabe have maintained a lifestyle that closely resembles that of early Homo sapiens. Their knowledge of the land, animals, and plants is unparalleled, and their survival strategies are a testament to the intelligence and adaptability of prehistoric humans. Hunting like our ancestors. Hunting is at the core of Hadzabe life, just as it was for early humans thousands of years ago. Hadzabe men do not use guns, traps, or modern technology. Instead, they rely on traditional wooden bows and arrows, just as early Homo sapiens did. Each arrow is tipped with poison extracted from the adenium plant, a method that has been passed down through generations. The poison ensures that even a single well-placed shot can bring down large animals like antelope, baboons, or even giraffes. Hunting requires immense patience and an understanding of animal behavior, skills that the Hadzabe have mastered through generations of observation and experience. Unlike modern hunters who rely on technology, the Hadzabe use their environment to track prey. They analyze footprints, broken branches, and even listen to bird calls to locate animals. This ability to read nature is a skill that was once common among all humans but has largely been lost in modern society. The sacred bond between humans and the honey-guide bird. One of the most fascinating aspects of Hadzabe hunting is their relationship with the honey-guide bird. This small bird has evolved a unique symbiotic relationship with the Hadzabe over thousands of years. When a Hadzabe hunter whistles a specific tune, the bird responds by leading them to a beehive hidden in the trees. The hunter then breaks open the hive, taking the honey while leaving some for the bird. This rare example of cooperation between humans and animals is believed to date back tens of thousands of years, a practice that may have helped early humans survive when other food sources were scarce. Gathering, the forgotten knowledge of plants. While men hunt, Hadzabe women play an equally vital role by gathering food. Their knowledge of edible plants is extensive, allowing them to find nourishment even in the harshest seasons. They gather tubers, berries, baobab fruits, and wild vegetables, ensuring a balanced diet that has sustained their people for centuries. The Hadzabe do not farm or store food, they rely entirely on what nature provides. Their ability to identify which plants are safe to eat and which are poisonous is an ancestral skill that dates back to the earliest humans. In a time before supermarkets and agriculture, this deep knowledge of plants was essential for survival. Hadza language, the last echoes of an ancient tongue. The Hadzabe speak Hadza, one of the last remaining click languages in the world. This unique linguistic feature, characterized by clicking sounds made with the tongue, is believed to be one of the oldest forms of human communication. Linguists speculate that early humans may have spoken in similar ways before the development of more complex languages. One night, under the light of a full moon, Tuko experienced a powerful revelation. He saw the interconnectedness of all life, how each animal, plant, and person was part of a delicate web that required mutual respect to survive. When Tuko returned to his people, he shared his vision. The tribe embraced it wholeheartedly, strengthening their commitment to living sustainably and protecting the environment for future generations. A legacy of wisdom. As Tuko grew older, his legacy as the boy who spoke to nature only grew more powerful. He became a symbol of wisdom, strength, and the deep connection between humanity and the earth. His teachings were passed down through the generations, and even as the modern world encroached upon the Hadzabe's traditional way of life, Tuko's message remained timeless. In a world increasingly disconnected from nature, Tuko's story serves as a reminder of the power and wisdom that can be found in the natural world. His journey is not just a tale of survival, but of deep spiritual growth, of understanding our place in the world and the importance of preserving the delicate balance that sustains all life. Tuko's legacy lives on in the hearts of those who continue to walk the path of the Hadzabe. His life was a journey of survival, but more than that, it was a journey of wisdom, a journey that speaks to us all, urging us to listen to the whispers of the earth and to honor the sacred bond we share with nature. Tuko's stories, like the stories of so many indigenous peoples, is a powerful reminder of the ancient wisdom embedded in our connection to the natural world. In a time when the environment faces unprecedented challenges, we can learn much from Tuko and the Hadzabe. They show us that true strength lies not in conquering nature, but in living in harmony with it. Bound by the land's resources and the allure of untouched beauty, began to encroach on the Hadzabe's homeland. Poachers, land developers, and even tourists seeking to experience the unspoiled wildlands of the Hadzabe territory all began to invade the sacred grounds where Tuko's people had lived for millennia. Tuko knew that the survival of his tribe and the preservation of the land's sacred balance depended on more than just survival skills. It would require a fight for the land itself. The coming of the strangers. One fateful day, while Tuko was out hunting with his younger brother, they came across a group of strangers, their clothes unfamiliar, their faces unfamiliar. They were poachers, armed with rifles, and they were slaughtering game without regard for the natural balance. The poachers had been stripping the land of its resources, taking the animals the Hadzabe depended on for food, and leaving nothing in return. Tuko's heart burned with anger. For a brief moment, he considered confronting them directly. But his father had always taught him that the true strength of a leader lay not in impulsive action, but in wise decision-making. Instead, Tuko took a different path. He observed the poachers from a distance, memorizing their movements and behavior. Later that night, he returned to his tribe and explained the threat. His wisdom, gained through years of understanding the land, proved vital. Tuko knew that to protect his people and the animals, he would need to outwit these strangers. He began organizing the tribe to take action, using his deep knowledge of the land to track the poachers without being seen. As he had done with his first hunt as a boy, Tuko now relied on the land's secrets to guide his every move. With the help of the elders and the other hunters, Tuko devised a plan that would drive the poachers away without resorting to violence. They worked in the shadows, marking the poachers' paths with subtle signs, setting up decoys, and luring them into areas where they could be trapped or forced to retreat. But it wasn't just strategy that led to their success, it was the spirit of the land itself. The animals seemed to sense the tribe's efforts and aided them, moving silently to places where the poachers were less likely to strike. Birds would fly overhead to warn them, and the wind seemed to carry their movements, masking them from sight. In the end, the poachers were forced to leave, not through force of arms, but through the quiet strength of the land's protection. They left without even realizing the wisdom they had been up against, thinking it had been mere luck or chance. Tuko's vision, a future where people and land coexist. After this victory, Tuko's role as a protector deepened. He no longer simply served as the boy who spoke to nature, but as the true guardian of his people's way of life. He became more determined to ensure that the Hadzabe would not only survive in the modern world but thrive, preserving their ancient traditions while adapting to the changing times. His leadership was not about holding on to the past, but about finding a way to harmonize with the future without losing their soul. Tuko's vision began to take shape. He saw a future where the Hadzabe could engage with the outside world, but on their own terms. They would not have to abandon their ways in exchange for the trappings of modern life. Instead, they would teach the world to understand and respect the wisdom of living in balance with nature. To Tuko, the modern world was not something to be feared, it was an opportunity to spread the message of his people. He initiated programs to protect the lands from illegal poaching and deforestation. While the Hadzabe were not a people who believed in grand structures, Tuko's leadership showed that even small, isolated communities could have a far-reaching impact if they carried the wisdom of the land in their hearts. He worked with conservationists and environmental groups, sharing the Hadzabe's knowledge of sustainable living. Slowly, Tuko's tribe became a beacon of hope for those who wished to learn how to protect the earth. The path of the sage. Tuko's life became a journey not just of survival but of sharing wisdom. He became a teacher, passing down his knowledge to younger generations. The Hadzabe now had a new challenge: how to balance their ancient ways with the needs of an increasingly